Is it What about eating someone brought out her human form again?
If there was such a thing as fate, I can only laugh at how fickle it can be.
I love that. That's a good quote.
It's a great quote. Man.
And now we see
her like, back within the walls.
Within the walls, this life of Ymir that we know of that she's living.
And then we get the whole priest talking about Krista.
And they're not talking about Krista as a baby. They're talking about her as they just sent her to the cadets.
Yes.
Which we didn't know before.
Is Krista the true Ymir bloodline? Or is she just another stand-in?
Well, if you think about it, from the outro picture, all of the 3 daughters were blonde, I'm pretty sure. Mm-hmm. And then in one of the other outro drawings, it's a blonde girl handing something to a Titan form. Mm-hmm. You know, so maybe there's just something about blonde people in this show. I don't know. That would make me think Armin should also be, like, important or related, but I guess not. And Annie. Krista's so adorable.
Yeah, I know.
I wrote that. You fed yourself lies.
Yeah.
When she's talking about Krista, that they both did that.
We had her, like, she's the strongest in this environment. Mm-hmm. If you don't agree to take Krista right now, what are you saying? She got her, you know?
Yeah, she succeeded. I still can't fully wrap my head around why it was so, like, dire that she needed to get Krista and they couldn't just come back and get Krista.
Yeah.
Like, it's like she really thought that if they didn't leave there right now with Krista, she'd never see her again, and I still can't wrap my head around why that is.
Yeah.
Why was it so dire? To the fact that she's, like, putting all of them in danger.
I would think it's just personal emotion and feeling.
It could just be fear. Like, she really is terrified of never seeing Krista again, and not that she necessarily totally... And because of that fear, she believes it to be true.
So we had, like, the confrontation.
Isn't it funny how Connie was acting with Ymir? Like this wasn't a Titan form, and he was like, buddy.
Yo, I was scared for Connie. I really thought Connie was gonna get smushed here. Oh. Like in One Punch Man episode 1, I think, there was, like, this funny gag of, like, someone hitting a shoulder, but, like, I thought that Connie was about to, like, just bite it here.
I liked that they had Connie on Ymir's shoulder talking to Ymir in the same way that we had, like, Hanji on Aaron's shoulder a few episodes ago talking to Aaron. And it's like, it really brings them into, like, everyone's kind of getting used to this idea that their friends can turn into Titans. And they're like, well, I better just be cool with it.
Yeah. How crazy it is that this show has conditioned me to not even, like... It doesn't even faze me to see a Ymir Titan eat Krista because I'm like, oh, she's alive.
Yeah, like, want to know what was, like, so important to me was how they drew Ymir's face when she closed her mouth. Mm-hmm. Her teeth didn't close on Krista's leg. Mm-hmm. She kind of just...
Great attention. She's clearly hostile now. Reiner turns into armored. Ymir's on his back.
Which is a shot I never thought we would see, but I love it.
Never, and then Hans is like, let's go.
He's leading the charge, and that is just...
So
what a 180 for that character.
So, yeah, are you worried about Hans?
I am immensely worried about Hans. I feel like, I mean, he literally said, the last line in the episode is, I would sacrifice myself to get Eren back, and I'm like, no! Don't. You're, like, basically the only, like, adult family that he has, because his dad is nowhere, and I don't even think he thinks of his dad as his dad anymore. Like, he never thinks about his dad.
Yeah.
Why doesn't he think about his dad more? Or, like, I miss my dad.
Who, Eren?
Yeah. Is it because he's mad at his dad?
Eren?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like I'd be thinking about my parents a little more if one of them was still alive. I'd be like, well, I wonder what he's doing.
I feel you. Can I go, like, since we're closing out, can I go into, like, a full Ben conspiracy right now? And it's, like, this is unlike anything that I've done before, I think.
Whoa. New territory.
Yeah, I feel like I might have been a little out of it this entire discussion.
What?
Because over this entire discussion, I have written down 8 points and timestamps to encapsulate a thought.
Oh, Okay. It's like you're getting ready for like a term paper, research paper.
It feels that way. So I think that this is all I don't know what the final answer is, but I don't know how to I'm sorry. I don't know what my final thought is. But I think that Ymir, Reiner, Bertholdt and Annie are somehow from a place where history is already written and they know these figures.
Time travelers. Is that what you're getting at?
I don't know.
I mean, I did say another dimension.
Fortune tellers, other dimension.
Psychic abilities.
And that's a fucking reach. I understand this, but I don't know what it would be. That's like I have no fucking clue. But there's reason that I think this. So, number 1, timestamp, episode 10 of season 2, 4 minutes and 11 seconds in. Mm-hmm. If Aaron turns out not to be the coordinate, our job isn't over yet. Coordinate.
So they think their job would be done if Aaron is in fact the coordinate.
Well, I just think the term coordinate, as far as I'm concerned, if I am trying to find a location or pinpoint a certain point in location, destination, this is something I need to get where I want to go. Mm-hmm. Next, 4 minutes and 41 seconds into this. We can take Annie, Krista, and that back home. This is coming off of the scene the next time we come here, which infers that it's like a second shot, right? Like, granted, it can easily be like, oh yeah, they're just gonna run out, go to their village, and the next time they come back, we can get Annie, Krista, and that back home. I understand that, but another thing that I will reference later on, like, touches on that. Number 3 is 6 minutes and 53 in, which is Aaron doesn't seem to remember either. Is that how it works? Which is like, is Aaron one of them, like Annie, Reiner, and Bertholdt, and he for some reason has been in the world longer and forgot, kind of like a split personality like Reiner did? Who knows? I'm so sorry.
Am I allowed to talk on that at all?
Sure.
Will that
Go.
Take off your train of thought?
No, go. I have it written down.
So when you were saying that, what I was writing down was, are babies even born? Or like, because we know Titans can't reproduce, and then they said this thing about Aaron, and I'm like, are like all people just Titans, and then when they turn back into a human, they get like adopted by a family that's already turned back into human? Well,
from Ymir's perspective, it seemed like when she was reborn as that like age still, though.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm thinking. Like, maybe.
Well, no, like
we met Aaron as a kid.
Though.
We didn't get to see if he ever was a baby. So maybe humans can't even reproduce.
Maybe
in this universe. I know, that's like crazy. Okay, go.
Number 4 out of 8. 8:30. It must be Commander Irwin, a tough opponent. So how that like fits into my way of thinking is, if you look a little bit before this, it's like, unless they brought loads of horses over the wall, that scouting formation won't work. Someone made that call. It must be Commander Irwin. If these people, if Reiner, Bertholdt, Ymir know of like a book or history or knowledge of rankings throughout this time and key members, then they could probably, I know they've been close with Irwin, but the way that they froze it must be Commander Irwin, a tough opponent. I could see them being like, oh, it has to be like Irwin's a standout member of society in this time, and he would have things written about him. Mm-hmm. Again, these are all small These are all small
Little-
peanuts.
little-
These are all little like
nuggets.
crumbs, and I am probably way off because this is Ben's conspiracy
You're just like
corner.
pushing them all the like crumbs together to make bread.
They all like it's I don't know, man. So next is number 5 at 9:48.
9:48.
At this rate, I'll never get a chance to see her again. This is really, really bizarre because, again, it can fit into the narrative of, oh, they're just going back to their hometown, which is 100 miles away, and they're just never see her again. But if this was like a trip that Ymir isn't a part of because it's Reiner and Bertholdt's mission, then if she goes back to their hometown or whatever it is, she wouldn't be able to go see her again. She wants to... Where is it? I think there might be another point. But it's like, she wants to see her again right now. And there's a quote that... It might be in my next one. Let me double check. If not, then I'll just kind of speak out, paraphrase. It was something like, I'll take away her future or something like that. Like, it might sacrifice her future, but I want to see her, I want to see her again.
They do talk about future a lot for her, as if they know what it is or what it's meant to be.
Yeah. And I don't know, do you have any thoughts regarding that?
I mean, I like the
I'm not
theory.
done,
Well,
but...
I like Ymir feeling that she'll never see Krista again if that theory was true. Because then if she's going with Reiner and Bertholdt, then they're going back to the future. And then she wouldn't be able to see Krista again, because how far in the future are they going? Would Krista just be a history book character?
I'm trying to find the line. I can't believe
I do like that theory.
I might have it later on. Yes, okay, no, I do have it later on. Sweet. Okay, never mind. Okay, number 6, 1139. 1139. Blessed with immortality. We already touched upon it earlier in the discussion, but again, I don't know about the future thing. I cannot at all confidently be like, this is fucking Minutemen. Like, this is Disney Channel Minutemen. Because immortality has come into play. I don't think... if it's anything in regards to the whole, like... That's why I don't have a definitive theory. If it's anything, it's almost like something like time's a circle. Like, and... Like, at immortality, you can live forever. So it's like, oh, let me just wait for eternity to pass by. I'm still going to be alive. We get another shot at it next time around. I don't know if it's like a time travel, you know? I don't like... it's hard for me to say that, but the term immortality definitely gives a bit of a vibe to it.
It could be thought of as like, oh, well, I failed in my first go-around as a human, so that's why I was punished. And now I get to try again as a human, and I was reborn, and so I have to live better.
Yeah. 2 more. This next one is at 1220. It's not huge, but that's a pretty modern-looking sweatshirt, man. I have, like, strings on my sweatshirt.
Well, that's his, it's a
strings
dress.
on his.
It's a dress.
I don't know, man.
It's a dress shirt.
It looks like this? That's hoodie strings.
He's wearing the same, like, cloak thing that everyone else is. It just happens to have the top of, like, a hoodie.
I don't know, the garb.
The garb.
Is all wild.
I liked her dress.
And then, to cap it all off, which, oh my god, the desert scene was great. To cap it all off, I think this is 1752. This was the biggest thing to me. Even if it means taking her future away, I'll do what it takes to live and meet her. Does that paired with how they were talking about the orangutan, with stars in their eyes, does it not seem like these are public figures and they are...
That they idolize or something.
They are figures cemented in history that it doesn't matter if all of what is foretold is going to come to fruition as long as I get to meet her. Like, it's like starstruck. It's like I see...
It's almost like childhood Ymir heard this fairy tale princess history book story about Historia.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
We saw the syringe that the person was injecting into Ymir. we saw the syringe that Aaron's dad was injecting into him. Is what we are seeing, I don't know. The biggest wrench in my theory is it's only been 60 years for Ymir since she's been turned into a Titan. That I have no explanation of. That fucks everything up.
Okay. You brought up the syringe with Aaron and his dad. Mm-hmm. And Reiner said, does Aaron remember? So when Aaron got pierced with the syringe in that scene and obviously ended up with the key or whatever, did he turn and then do something and then wake up and not remember and then had that kind of fever dream about it?
We saw him wake up around Armin and Mikasa.
Yeah, but what if he did something in the middle of the night and then got back there and
Maybe
woke up?
That could
and
happen.
that's what Reiner was referencing. Like, does he not remember? Because, I mean, Ymir turned into a Titan right after she was injected. So what if right after Aaron was injected, he was losing consciousness, and his dad was like, remember, the memories will lead you, into the void.
There's so many different factors and elements, dude, because, like, now I'm second guessing everything, because, like, I was thinking about, like, cryostasis and shit. Annie can, like, crystallize herself or whatever. But then I'm thinking about, because you just brought up, their memories will lead you. That doesn't fucking fit into anything I'm thinking. I don't know what's happening anymore, and I can't take it.
Their memories will, it's like in the basement is those history books from the future. Or, like, recounted notebooks of people's like maybe it's not even Titans memories that are supposed to lead him, but like the people like what if it's like people's memoirs from the future of their thought process during these days and their thinking, and it's their memories that will end up Aaron gets to basically fix the future. Is Aaron fixing the future?
Well, there was a really good line that would kind of fit into that. Aaron doesn't seem to remember either.
Yeah.
Where would the fucking orangutan fit in then?
And how do they get back and forth to the future? They're not like getting on a spaceship.
I don't agree with you. I don't think that's how it works. That seems like it's out of thin air. I don't get how it would be that way of... I don't think it's time travel. I think, like, if it's some funky time thing, I don't think it can't be I just don't see that. Like immortality, circle, history, something and factor that we don't understand in this universe could be a part. I don't think it's Minutemen time travel. I mean, there's no fucking way.
I liked your thing about the circle. Like, what if history is just repeating itself and they're in like a time loop, but some of them are more aware of what's happening than others? It's like like Groundhog Day or something. Like, you wake up and the same thing replays, and you're the only person that knows what's gonna happen next.
Well, that's why I was like, okay, the whole, like, crystallization, like, and you could, like, put yourself in, like, cryostasis. It kind of reminds me of Futurama on a couple levels, but, like, it's like, oh, yeah, let's crystallize ourselves for however long it takes to get to the next place that we're supposed to wake up at. Mm. But... that does not account for the aging that's happened. Annie, Bertholdt, and Reiner were all younger in that flashback from 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. They have been... It's so weird because it's... that happened 5 years ago. Where were they for the 2 years before the 3 long years that they've been in this? Remember on episode 6? Reiner was like, we've been here for 3 long years. Like, where were they for that 2 years? They might have had
to, like, train on how to be human. Or train how to fit in and not seem, like, stick out.
Maybe,
but before they joined the cadets.
Because, like, in my mind, they couldn't have, like, crystallized for 2 years and then joined the cadets because they were older at that point. There was something that happened there. It could be a dimension thing.
So many questions.
So little answers.
There's so many things, like, since this story is already, like, out of the realm of reality and possibility, like, there's so many other fantastical, supernatural elements that you can just theorize that might be added in because of the fact that, like, Titans don't really exist. And so, like, I wouldn't be surprised if we added another fantastical supernatural element into this story. It wouldn't, like, be a total shocker.
You know what it was for me? Ymir waking up in the desert and being quote-unquote reborn. Like, that flipped the show on its head for me. I don't...
They made it an iconic scene.
This show changed from, like, a historical account of just, like, a history of this world to that plus a little bit of fantastical, magic-y kind of shit, because there's something that happened after Ymir ate Marcel that gave her an otherworldly rebirth that I don't understand. And I don't know what to think of it. I don't know. Because, like, what? She seemingly aged after she was thrown off of... Maybe? No, she was already that age. So. Let's look at hair, right?
Her hair's the same.
Not when she was in the Scouts. Or, like, in training. Out. Yeah, she grew it out. So it seemed like she... From the time that she was thrown off to the time that she woke up, no human years passed. Mm-hmm. You know, that's 60 years, no human years passed, no development happened within her human body. And then after that happened, she grew her hair out and she developed more. I don't know.
I have one last weird thing that I don't know how you're going to feel about. But right next to Marcel, I did an equal sign Marco and circled it. And I'm wondering if that something came over Reiner and Marco reminded the three of them of Marcel. And that's why all of them were crying when Marco died. Not because it was Marco, but because they were remembering their friend Marcel and watching him be eaten by a Titan.
I love that. It did kind of feel like, though, that Reiner was the reason that Marco died.
Right.
But...
he could have been like, why'd you save me? Like, he had, like...
Oh, you know? That's
and
so
he could have been
good.
Mad at him.
And he was like, what are you talking about? That's so good.
Because, like, not that they necessarily look similar, but they might have been similar. And it makes more sense to me that this pair, like, them feeling that same energy from Marcel to Marco would be the reason all of them were crying watching Marco be eaten, like how they watched Marcel being eaten. And also their names are so similar that...
You know, there are a lot of instances, 8 of them, that makes me think of this hometown being a different point in history. Mm-hmm. But the second that I think I'm ahead of things in this show, I have done this show a disservice. Because this author, now I'm like, they want me to think this shit. So they can, like, twist it and tell me the truth. Like, this isn't what's actually happening. They're trying to make me think this so
they're trying to mislead you. And mislead you to the point where even if they give you something true, you don't recognize it as the possible truth yet.
God, this show's so good. It's frustrating.
It is. All I am left with is, where do the babies in this world come from?
I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. Fuck. I don't know how we're gonna catch up. Granted,
Reiner was not a cute kid.
We know that Reiner isn't a fast Titan when running, but...
And now the horses are chasing
it's going to be a hard fight with no trees.
I mean, Reiner could just go like this, and all the horses would go like pew, up in the air, so...
And another reason my theory is bullshit. Why would they need the orangutan to get back to their hometown?
Because he has the key to the portal.
Okay. Alright, that's it. You good?
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video with us and watch us delve into insanity. See you next time. The biggest wrench in my theory is it's only been 60 years for Ymir since she's been turned into a Titan. The biggest wrench in my theory is it's only been 60 years for Ymir since she's been turned into a Titan. The biggest wrench in my theory is...
The biggest wrench in my theory is...